Okay, we're rolling.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Kero, who's been at the gym for, I don't actually know how long you've been here. Is it a
10
year?
months.
8 months?
10, I think.
10 months.
September to June.
And I kind of wanted to talk to you about, I don't know, I'm very close to Sylvie's process because obviously I've seen her 24 hours a day for 10 years now. And I kind of see her in a heroic way. And I know that you, when you decided to come to Petchaburi and to Thailand and to train with Sylvie, kind of saw her in a similar way. You saw her in a kind of like someone who had values to admire or look up to. And when I was very, very interested in hearing from you as someone who now no longer like got to know her through social media, but actually got to train with her side by side. You actually became friends. You've become friends with her, a confidant. And I'm kind of really curious about what your experience of her was from when you came, and then how it evolved, and what you've come to see in her. Because people don't get the chance. You're the only woman who's ever trained with her over time, like seriously.
Sometimes when you have when idealize someone, the reality can be disappointing, but not with Sylvie in every way. Like no one's perfect, so I'm not like putting her on a pedestal, but like the resilience and the strength that transpires about her through social media, it's only the tip of the iceberg, really.
Well,
and I was the thing I was very shocked was how introverted she is, because she doesn't appear introverted at all on social media. She's very articulate, not like me. Like when I'm on camera, it's obvious I'm shy and I'm uncomfortable, but not Sylvie. I mean, she's had to practice that, obviously, but still, it's impressive. And apart from that, there is I mean, that's like the thing. Like, she doesn't seem shy, but she's very shy. But apart from that, it's like she's actually way stronger than what she appears to be on social media. Way stronger, and she has way more things to deal with. It's crazy. I just get dizzy thinking about it. It's crazy.
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about, because Sylvie's pretty honest and descriptive of the many hurdles that she faces, and maybe other women face also in Thailand or elsewhere. But you are the only person who firsthand experiences. Not only do you experience the outward hurdles that she faces, but because you're an introvert and she is an introvert, I think you're in a special place of understanding how much she has to overcome in herself in order to deal with things.
I've posted a few things about my Muay Thai things on social media, and it was after one comment I was overwhelmed already. And she has she has so many pages she has to
You mean in her blog or
vlogs with it? I think Instagram, Facebook.
So platforms or channels,
forums, and a website, and she has all these inputs and feedbacks constantly thrown at her all the time, from people who don't know her or from people who know her.
But when
it's
you
a lot to deal with.
But when you are in the gym space with her and you see her struggle, you see her actually struggling, not just succeeding and succeeding.
Yeah.
How does that connect with for you? Because you also are there training super hard, reaching for, asking a lot of yourself.
It's hard to keep up with her. Like, in the first few months, people who just looked at both Sylvie and I in the gym may think I trained more than her, but they don't know that she had to cut back on trainings because she has a lot of work to do back home. While I can like spend maybe 1 hour more than her here because when I go home, nothing. I mean, I don't have anything else to do. Maybe I had a little bit of things to do, but it's nothing compared to what she has to do. So that and the fact that she doesn't, I could appreciate that she really doesn't take breaks. It's hard. Like, something I came to appreciate at the gym is I don't like people who are explosive. I like people who show up every day because I know it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't usually take breaks when I'm tired, but when I'm in a bad mood. But Sylvie has the same kind of moods, and she doesn't take breaks because of it, and I cannot do that yet. I'm not at that level yet. I don't know how. I know how she does it. She does mental training. I don't. So.
You feel like she has a mental training edge that allows her to keep going?
She does more work on that. Like when we talk about depression, sometimes people deal with it in different ways because people are different. But I'm trying not to think, oh, some people are high functioning, some people are low functioning, because it takes away from the work that people do when they are depressed and still do work, you know? Yeah, I don't want to blame myself for like, when I'm depressed, I don't do anything. But at the same time, Sylvie does work for that, against that, or to not let it cripple her or take trainings away from her and stuff like that. So yeah, after 10 months, she hardly ever took breaks from mood issues, only when it was really necessary or because of the virus, but she doesn't take breaks. And she trains hard here. I cannot do what she does on pads or anything. Not with that kind of composure. I mean, like I can be intense, but it's messy, you know. She's not messy.
So you pick up also, I feel like that you picked up a lot of the cues that what she's reaching for in her Muay, which is this composure and
she's
relentless.
She's way ahead of everyone else, apart maybe from the Thais because they started so young, but they don't train as much as her. They're consistent too. They have to, but I mean, not all the time. Like, a lot of stopped training when they could still be training during the virus. But yeah, she has to train herself a lot.
What do you want to talk about? Go ahead.
I mean, I know, like I've met people who train very, very hard, but they're usually pushed, you know. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's easier when like you're being pushed by someone, and she's not. Quite the contrary. People sometimes are not like don't give her the credit or the attentions that she deserves. But,
well, can you talk a little bit about this? What people don't understand if they're not in a Thai gym is that it's a very political space. It's a very male space. It's hierarchical, and when you are a female who's reaching really far and high, you often can find yourself without support or without commonality.
One thing that's good about here is that they do make you clinch a lot, even if you're a woman, but they still think women are weaker. Like I've heard Kunu say a few times that women have bones that are more fragile. So sparring was limited. Like if I don't ask for sparring or I don't go ask people to spar with me, I get little to no sparring. Sylvie, when she has sparring partner about her height and size, gets asked to spar with these people, but otherwise, yeah, she could spar with the bigger Thais, but Kunu don't make her spar with them because he think she is too small. The size difference is too big. But I've seen firing men who are like weaker and less skilled than her, and not necessarily that big compared to some other Thai, getting more sparring, stuff like that.
There is a weird way in which she and you have to pursue your own training beyond what is being asked of you.
Yeah, when it came to sparring, after that, it's a gym where you don't get like a program, and I like that. You can be very you can do your own thing, and I like that. Some other gyms like Muay Thai have very like structured training, and I like that a little bit less. So that's not what this is about. It's really when you have to spar and clinch a lot. If you're a woman, you may get less sparring. Yeah.
Yeah, she's had to
if the
create
sparring
her own
partners,
sparring, really.
Yeah, she had. Yeah, you have to ask for it, and even then, but it's crazy because she can withstand Yot Kanpon. He kicks so hard. She could spar with big some of the bigger men if they control themselves. It's okay, no problem. She actually does, but when she has to ask herself. Yeah.
One of the, I don't know if this is intentional, but one of the more interesting things I experienced from the outside was the times when she gets kind of iced out by the gym men. I don't know what iced out means, to shut off, sometimes put to the outside, because things are political in the gym, and sometimes she might do training outside the gym and it'll piss people off. And what was so funny to me is that those times that she would get shut off, you would then climb in the ring with a Sylvie shirt on, and they would have to hold pads for you with her face right in front of them the whole time.
There was a period when Kunu wasn't holding for her because I don't know if I can say that, maybe cut it, but he was like pouting, being childish. Yeah, when it happens, I'm like, is he pouting again? Ask Sylvie that. It happens a lot. It's difficult. That's another thing she has to deal with. I don't, because I'm not that invested in the gym. I'm that close to them, so I'm like, they don't react to whatever I do the same way as her, because she's part of the family, sort of like mafia. And yeah, I used to intentionally wear my.
It felt like you wore, it was like a protest shirt or something.
So Kunu would have to look at her like, because at some point he was holding for me. I mean, before the pandemic, he was holding for me and not Kugok or anyone else when he wasn't holding for her. So I got actually more training with him, and I thought, I will just put my t-shirt with Sylvie on it, because she wasn't getting it.
And for those that don't know, it's a t-shirt with a giant Sylvie face on it. It's kind of crazy.
Two of them. That was fun.
I wanted to also ask you about, in this time you were really, I think, lucky that you trained a lot with Dieselnoy.
Yeah, I was very lucky.
You're a tall, long knee fighter, and he is the greatest ever like this. And he's also a very special man. He's really like nobody I've ever met.
He's so kind.
Yeah.
Like, very, very kind. When he trains you, it's short, but it's intense, and it's like you're the only person that matters to him. While he trains you, it's very beautiful.
Well, what did that mean for you? Because you're a woman and you fight in this Muay Thai style, this very long style, and not a lot of people have your anatomy. I'm imagining that to be trained by the person who perfected the anatomy and the energy must have it's difficult to go through training where you don't have a model
Yeah.
of someone in front of you.
Before I learned about Disney, I thought tall people look ugly when they fight, and like, well, especially me, because I have low self-esteem, but not just me. Like, usually tall people, they look awkward. You know, they don't fight pretty. Like even Kunu is tall, but when he fights, it's still beautiful because he has good lots of experience. But I like the way Kero and Yotkopun and even Sunshine moves, and that's small. But tall people don't move like that.
Yeah.
But Disney like made me appreciate how beautiful tall people can be also, you know, and how not awkward it is actually.
Yeah.
I really like the way he moves too now. Yeah.
And he spent a lot of time thinking about you and investing in you, like over time.
I mean,
Disney, yeah. In the gym, it was many months.
Yeah. I don't really know why. Because I was telling Sylvie once, it's easy to do like hard stuff when you have someone like this and pushing you behind, you know. But when I'm alone, I'm not as intense and when Disney asks me to do stuff. So, and Sylvie and Disney are the kind of person that can be intense on their own, you know.
Yeah.
I struggle with that, so I'm not like him. I'm less like him than Sylvie is, you know? But she's not tall, that's all. Yeah. When he left, it was different. Yeah.
Yeah, he has an incredible life.
I was really sad. Yeah, it was weird at the gym when he left. Yeah.
Now, for women who come to Thailand and really have a dream of training so hard and then fighting, like Sylvie fights like no one else in terms of the number of fights, how frequently she fought. You were willing to fight like every week if you could.
Yeah.
But you encountered difficulty in finding fights.
Yeah.
You're also a 60-kilo fighter.
Yeah.
You're very tall.
Yeah.
How was that terribly disappointing for you? How many fights did you get in this time?
I haven't fought since January, and before September and January I had 7 fights. And to be fair, I didn't expect to have that many fights, so I wasn't disappointed, despite having fights that get cancelled and people that didn't want to fight me. But then people didn't really knew me, so I had that advantage.
Yeah.
Probably it would have, after 1 year, it would have subsided. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I couldn't fight often for 6 years like Sylvie does, for example, because of my height advantage. Yeah. But I had more fights than I thought I was going to get, so that's good.
Stopped in January, so.
Yeah, that was unlucky. I could have fought in January. No, I had 2 fights in January. I could have fought in February and March, but every 4 fights got cancelled, and then the virus happened. Yeah. So, but still, I had more fights than I thought. You can get a lot of fights. You could get. I don't know how it's going to be after this year, but you could get many fights here. Yeah.
So for women who are out there, been following Sylvie for a long time and have admiration for her, and they want to come and train long term, what would you tell them in advance that you couldn't know until you're with her? Like, if people want to do what you did, what would you say? What would you say to a woman who wants to come and just throw herself into her training alongside Sylvie? Because no one ever has done it beside you.
You mean specifically training with Sylvie or not training her?
Kind of. It's like if you're going to come and try the Sylvie intensity in the gym and be in the gym and be alongside of her, what are things that you would say, like, be sure to prepare for this, or think about this, or be ready for?
If not someone introverted, you might not understand how Sylvie is, and you might be annoying. I don't want to be mean, but like when quiet people, they need that quiet, so don't be too chatty and expect her to be like giving you stuff to do. Just like you can follow what she does, but maybe not too close, stuff like that. Just be like, if you're extroverted, don't expect her to be, overgoing and doing stuff outside of training, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I could appreciate that because I'm the same kind of person, so I don't mind, and I could understand, like when she's very tired or overwhelmed, she could appear like she's mad. She's not. She's just struggling because it's tiring. The kind of pad work she has here is not the same as the kind I had. I had maybe once or twice a very intense pad work like she has, but since I'm not at her level, it's not every day. Once or twice is okay, not every day. Yeah, I mean when she has pad work.
Yeah.
So if you come to train here with Sylvie long time, don't I don't know how to phrase that, but don't expect her to be like the idea you have of her. Just respect her, like, yeah. Some people, they idealize someone and then they have that idea, and when it's not like the way they think it should be, they get mad at the person, She doesn't owe anything to anyone, I mean, not in that context.
In training, yeah.
Yeah. And it's good if you're the same size or weight, you can have lots of sparring with her, and that will make you crazy strong. I'm sad I was too tall to spar that often with her. Yeah. And if you want to come and train with Sylvie and do the same as her, it's going to be very difficult to not take breaks. You probably won't do it. You probably won't be able to do it.
Well, you were.
She doesn't take breaks. It's so crazy.
For several months, you were really pushing hard, and then it became, I don't know what happened, but it became harder for you to not take breaks.
Oh,
it was like you were pushing so hard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. Oh, in January, February, I got sick actually. So that wasn't like mood issues, and then when pandemic started, I just got disheartened, and I knew I was going to leave, and I got girly disheartened. Yeah, but she doesn't take breaks even when she doesn't have the heart for it. I struggled with that.
It's very crazy. It's 8 years or so.
Yeah. And I mean, she used to go to 2 or 3 gyms. I mean, she maybe didn't have as much work at home because of the Muay Thai Library, but she still did have a lot of work. And yeah, once I leave the gym, it's like I couldn't imagine myself going to another gym and starting again. It's like when you run uphill and you stop, it's hard to
start again.
Yeah, even on pads, I realized I don't like trainers who take a lot of breaks. Couldn't take a lot of breaks, and I came to realize it's more tiring to have many breaks during the round than no breaks, because then you have to start again. You stop and you start. Yeah, it's very hard.
Yeah.
But she can do that. Yeah. But she works for it. Like, it doesn't happen. It just happens.
Yeah, totally.
She's not born with it. People like to think people like her or David Goggins, they're just born different. No. No. It's not like that. Yeah.